going on.
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock with my guy, as always, Mojo Muhtadi. Mojo, there wasn't a whole bunch of punching, but it was an absolutely dominating performance from that man right there, the new UFC middleweight champion, Khamzat Chimaev. Boy, Mojo, my prediction could literally not have been more wrong. Drickus said, I'm going to stop the takedown, and I bought into it, Mojo. And again, I could not have been more wrong. You could not have been more right, Mojo. It was just almost 25 straight minutes of pure ass-kicking on the part of the new champion, Mojo. So that begs the question, who can handle this guy? Who can deal with this guy? Who is the next opponent? Well, after the UFC 319 dominating performance, Mojo, as Joe Rogan was getting set to talk to Khamzat, he had a guy in mind who could potentially deal with that crazy Khamzat Chimaev wrestling and grappling. Here's Rogan after UFC 319.
There are a lot of guys who can really grapple, Joe, at the top of the division. So some exciting fights beckon in the future.
Absolutely. Reinier in particular, given his ability to grapple on the ground. And, and also his ability to land shots standing, particularly that knee that he lands.
That knee is nasty.
Experience.
His experience.
He throws those combinations with that long lead-in knee. He's interesting.
Boom. Joe Rogan knows. Let's not argue with Joe Rogan. He knows best, I think, in this one. In my mind, the first thing in my mind is if it goes to the floor, great. If it stays standing, great. So I think I'm a very much great matchup for this one. He did amazing, but I think I can do very well against this guy.
So, Mojo, obviously, Joe Rogan says what he says, and then we talked to De Ridder, and he thinks Joe Rogan's onto something here. And look, he is incredibly gifted on the ground. He's 21-2 as an MMA fighter, so a spectacular record. He's not ranked first or second. He is the 5th ranked middleweight, Mojo, but I think a lot of people think he makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he certainly does. And I mean, you got Joe Rogan behind you on that one, and that's what the fight game is about. Again, especially these days, it's about building that heat, building that energy and excitement, and get fans to fight that they want to see. So now, I mean, if it's De Ridder, buddy, this comes down to a marketing sell at this point. You put the full court press. Your entire camp is getting behind this one to pump out the messaging. Maybe that ends up being a little bit of friendly trash talk or not friendly trash talk, depending on how these things go. It's about hitting this one running because, like you said, he's number 5, right? Like he is a little bit down the line. For me personally, I always do feel a little bit conflicted about these things. Number 1, number 2, these are the guys at the top of the list. They should be the ones to get the next shot, right? That's just not how it goes in a promotion like this. There isn't a playoff bracket here. They go with the fights that make the most sense, that are going to make the most money, that the fans are going to have the most interest in. So I'd say right now, De Ridder, he's got a head start, and it's a great opportunity to put his name on the map because Khamzat right now has been unstoppable. Babcock, you said it. I mean, Saturday went exactly how I thought it was going to go. It's one of those fights where I wake up Sunday morning and I'm like, why did I not bet the entire house on this thing? Because that went how I thought it was going to go. There just isn't anybody out there for this guy right now. And in a way, it's awesome, but also it's a little bit tough finding interesting fights for this guy. He is running through everybody. He absolutely destroyed Duplessis here. It wasn't even fair. So where you go from here, I don't know, but at least Joe Rogan's got a pretty good opinion, and it's not a bad one.
Yeah, Mojo, you know what? It's shocking when you consider that. I mean, Drickus Duplessis Duplessis was the middleweight champion of the world. He beat Sean Strickland twice. He beat Israel Adesanya. I mean, he has faced the best people in the world. And Khamzat Chimaev toyed with him. I mean, he literally toyed with him. He made it look easy. And it's remarkable when you think of the quality of opponent. So, yeah, I think that's why a lot of people really scratching their head and trying to find somebody who actually has some sort of, something that Khamzat has to be scared of, concerned about. I'll tell you this. I think the biggest winners might have actually been Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, two guys who did not win on these scorecards against Khamzat Chimaev, but really put up a tough fight against him. And you know who RDR is friends with and who trains with? Well, Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. As a matter of fact, when we talked to him a little bit earlier today, De Ridder was on the way to the gym to train with Kamaru Usman. So I think he's got the ability, he's got the friends who have had success against Khamzat Chimaev, and I think that this fight makes a whole lot of sense as the next one for the new champion. But stay tuned, we'll see. All right, Mojo, moving on to a soon-to-be record-setting basketball card. I mean, as a matter of fact, it has already beaten the record, but it has not officially sold yet, Mojo. This is as far as basketball cards go, it's about as good as it gets. It features those two men right there, obviously Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, two of the most legendary basketball players that we have ever seen, Mojo. It's a 2007-2008 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection card. It's a one-of-one card that, look, it actually features a piece, the logo, the NBA logo from their jerseys, Mojo. Not just that. So not only do you have a piece of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's jersey on the card, you've got both men who have signed this card. Now, of course, we know what tragically happened with Kobe Bryant, that there will never be another one of these made, Mojo. There will certainly never be another one of these signed. It is right now on the block at Heritage Auction. It has a price, Mojo, just over $5 million, but it's got about a week left. And if you know anything about these auctions, a lot of times late is when they will really start with the bidding, and that price can jump up a real significant amount, Mojo. So certainly I think this thing's going to go for over $6 million, but really could go for a bunch more, Mojo. It will break the record of a Luka Doncic card that sold in 2022 for $3.12 million, Mojo. If you ask what the record for any card is, that is for a Mickey Mantle card that sold for $12.6 million a couple years ago. So I don't know if it gets there, but again, just an astounding price for a piece of cardboard, but a very valuable piece of cardboard.
Hey, Babcock, it might get to 12, just not this go around. And that's the thing with these cards. They are investments. And every single time we talk about these, $5 million, $6 million, I think to myself, my goodness, there are so many other things I would do to spend that money. And I immediately have to stop myself because you think of the value of these things. Right. They just continue to go up and up and up and skyrocket. And this card right here might turn out to be the best investment in the life of whoever ends up purchasing it. So that's what you do when you're very wealthy. You make decisions like this. Plus, for the time that you do have it, pretty cool. I mean, we're talking about Jordan and Kobe, two for, I would say the price of one, but $5-6 million. I don't even know if that's applicable for what I'm saying here. But yeah, that's crazy. I'm not surprised at all. It's beating Luka's record. Yeah. No disrespect to Luka. No. These guys have been around doing it way longer than he has. Maybe he'll get there one day, but it's going to be tough. He's going to have to find a second to be on the card, just like these two guys did. Again, just really, really crazy, but man, what a cool card. I mean, obviously, this is the one right here.
A Major League Baseball player ejected after throwing a bat at the opposing pitcher. The video you have to see for yourself when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, there was a super ugly moment on the baseball field on Sunday. Now, Victor Robles, who is a Mariners outfielder who is currently injured, he was on assignment, Mojo. He's doing a rehab assignment in Vegas. He is playing for the AAA Tacoma Rainiers. Well, he, Mojo, was not happy with a pitch. Now, he ends up getting hit by this pitch, but it wasn't actually a hit by pitch, meaning he did not take first base because he actually swung the bat. So technically it's a strike, but he got hit with the baseball, Mojo. Now, he had gotten hit by this same pitcher a couple of days back, and you can see here that Victor has had enough. But the way he reacts, you just cannot do this. You can't do it. Watch this.
And the first pitch from Estes. Swung on and fouled off on a pitch that hit him. He picks up the bat and throws it at Estes. He's been tossed. He is yelling at Joey Estes, and now he runs towards the mound. Both dugouts empty, and they're trying to keep cooler heads prevailing. Here come the bullpens. And we've got a little fracas in between the mound and the plate. And the Rainier's coaching staff escorting Robles to the third base visiting side dugout. I don't know the last time, or if ever, that I've seen a batter throw the bat at the pitcher.
And something just got tossed onto the field from the Tacoma dugout.
That's Robles throwing stuff. He threw an entire bucket of sunflower seeds down the third base line. My goodness.
Oh, Mojo, he's going to be in some trouble. Look, you get hit. It doesn't feel good. Look, you can even charge the mound. How many times you see that during a baseball season? You can't throw the bat, though, man.
This one is rough. And if there's a history of this dude getting hit multiple times, I could definitely see the frustration. Yes. It's made worse by the fact that his body was already headed that direction. Yeah. So calling it a strike, I mean, when I see this, looks like a guy that was trying to evade the ball, but just based off of its location, there was nothing he could really do. So that definitely sucks. Even more, that's the angle right there I wanted to see. I see him pick up the bat when he threw it, which you still can't do, and I'm not making excuses for him. I wonder if he was actually intending to try and hit the pitcher, or if he was just throwing it in the general direction. I mean, either way, this is an absolute no, but man, that frustration in the moment, I can certainly understand at least that part of it. Charging the mound, hitting him in the face with your fist. Maybe that's a better situation for you. It'll certainly get you in less trouble. Like you said, these things happen all the time, but throwing the bat, you know that there's going to be a consequence here. It's taking a bad situation and making it worse. Slightly exacerbated by the sunflower seeds on the field, but I'm going to just take a shot in the dark here, Babcock, and say that the bat might actually cause a human being more harm than a bag of sunflower seeds.
I think that's fair, Mojo. You know what's crazy, too, is that, there's this Little League baseball game that gets played. They go to Williamsport, obviously the home of the Little League World Series. And the whole idea is that you've got all these kids around, and you're going to show good sportsmanship. This is not something with the shaking of the hands at games that happens during Major League games, unless it's the Little League game. Well, it just so happened that the Little League game this season, Mojo, was played with Victor Robles' team. So the Mariners played the Mets. There they are with the high five. And you go then to the AAA game. Well, obviously he's not playing in the big league game because he's doing his rehab assignment. And there he is doing something that we have not seen in many, many years with throwing the bat. So what a kind of a side-by-side image there, Mojo. Now, I will say this. It seems like he has cooled down and he has apologized. So Victor went to his Instagram page and he put up a story. And here's what he had to say, Mojo. I want to apologize to everyone with what happened today on the field. It's a little frustrating coming back from an injury that cost me almost the entire year. At the same time, my mother died, and returning to the field to do the rehab games and get hit 5 times in less than 15 at-bats is hard not to react. It wasn't the best attitude. I'm very sorry about what happened. Mojo, that might help him because it seems to be a pretty sincere apology, but I think there's still going to be a pretty severe punishment here for Victor Robles to pay. Stay tuned. We shall find out here soon. Up next, R&B singer Mario is weighing in on Colton Loveland's performance of his hit song. How did the Bears rookie do? We'll ask Mario himself next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, we talked about it on Friday. That was Colton Loveland. He is a really talented football player, and I think he was a pretty good singer, too. Performing the 2004 hit by Mario, Mojo. You know what's funny is that he was born in April of 2004. That song came out in October of 2004, so he was like 6 months old. So I don't know when he heard it, but he was a little baby when it was released, Mojo. But all those years later, he performs it. So what does Mario think of it, Mojo? We actually found Mario, who is, by the way, still making music, still actually on tour, performing shows, fans still really excited to see him. He was kind enough to spend a couple of minutes with us, Mojo. We asked him, what'd you think of the performance?
I mean, first of all, it just takes me back to being 18 years old singing a song with the same type of intention, right? The song was made for the conversation, right? Let me love you. I made it simple. We made it simple so that anybody could sing it. I go to shows and I have girls singing it, guys singing it. Everybody can take that song and interpret it how they want. He swagged it out. Keep swagging it out, man. Congrats on everything. You know what I mean? I think that it takes a real man to sing a song like that in front of guys and swag it out like that. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing, bro. He did his thing. I'm excited to see what he do on the field. Best wishes to him, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to see this song living this long and still being, people's top pick in R&B. This is why I do what I do, bro. I make songs for us.
Maybe you guys do a remix of it?
Man, listen, I'm always down to have fun in the studio, man. He might come out of the studio with me and have his own mixtape. You never know.
It's one of those songs you hear it, Mojo, you start singing. You can't help it.
First things first, Babcock. You think he just walks around dressed like that all the time? Is that his look, or did he
was about to
up for the interview? What do you think?
He was about to go on stage, Mojo. That would have been funny though. If this was on like Saturday afternoon, it would have been funny. He's just wearing like the leather outfit. But yeah, he was about to go on stage.
If you say so, and I'm not hating because I can very much appreciate the chain and the sleeveless look. Yeah. I'm a big subscriber of that model, but I was just curious. I think this is a good time to play our old game, what he said versus what he means. We heard what he said. Here's what he means. Yeah. The Chicago Bears absolutely ruined my classic, a song that has lived through decades, clearly now from generation to generation, and I got the most bum-ass football team in the entire NFL desecrating my tune. That's what he meant to say. Go back, go. Either way, this is fun, right? Either way, I gotta say, it was really funny to see. I don't know if we're gonna get a collab anytime soon. Football season is just now starting, and this first round pick is gonna be quite busy with a lot of expectation, a lot of people relying on him to help dig the Bears out of the hole that they're currently in. So I don't know if we're going to get it, but perhaps in the offseason this thing comes to fruition.
Giants outfielder Jung-Ho Lee robs extra bases with his knees. One of the greatest catches you'll ever see when TMZ Sports rolls on right after this.
Mechanics are good. Not really. This is hit out into Triples Alley, and Jung-Ho Lee makes the catch. Did that end up between his legs? Well, let's take a look at the replay. I mean, he had to go a long way right into Triples Alley. And I think he caught it between the knees. He did. Caught it between the knees. Yep. I don't care what anybody says. That's the catch of the decade. Not of the year, not of the day, not of the week, not of the homestand, the decade. Yep. I agree.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. That was a crazy catch, Mojo. It was in center field on Sunday as the Giants were playing the Rays. It was Jung-Ho Lee who makes the catch. Now, it was a great catch, Mojo, but and tell me if I'm wrong here. I can't call it the catch of the decade because he made it so much harder than it should have been. It would have been a nice catch. I mean, he's on the run. He's approaching the fence, Mojo, obviously. He probably sees the warning track right there, and you're a little distracted. So it kind of hits him in the heel of the glove, and then he catches it with the knee. Spectacular, but he made it harder than it needed to be.
That is a really good point, Babcock. So maybe we just call it the best recovery of the decade. Maybe we can agree on that title.
Yeah.
Dangerous stuff though, catching the ball with your knees. Men have an area quite near the knees that could have been a disaster for this young man if something would have happened there. But great analysis, Babcock. Best recovery of the decade. The second effort, my goodness, the core strength to crunch up and curl in like that. Very powerful stuff.
Literally. Very powerful stuff. It would have been the most memorable moment in all of baseball yesterday if we didn't have batters throwing bats at the pitchers. But alas, this was the second biggest moment, Mojo. So anyway, we'll see what happens tonight. There's a whole bunch of baseball games being played. Something crazy, undoubtedly. We are out of time for the time being, Mojo. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Gotta be a great show.
That's right, Babcock. It'll be the best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.